What's good, everybody? It's your boy JKG Brandon. We are back with some Godforge leaks. It is Friday. You know what we do on Friday around here. We get leaks and we just want to go ahead and bring them on to you. Today, we're not going to get into a lot of like champion discussions, but we are going to see a little bit more about the world of one of the factions and kind of what goes from the artwork that they're giving us to leak out. It's going to show a little bit about what goes into the world build for these factions and for the world of Godforge. So let's get right up on into it, guys. We have the Ceiba faction. If you remembered to the last video, I didn't know how to say this word, but it is pronounced Ceiba. And if we come over into here, did a little research into the wiki. What is Ceiba? And it is a genus of trees native to a lot of different areas, Central and South America, West Africa as well. But the best known and most widely cultivated species is kapok. The Ceiba pentandra is one of the several trees known as kapok. Ceiba is a word from the Taino language meaning boat because the Tainos use the wood to build their dugout canoes. Now, if you don't know who the Tainos are and where they're from, think they are the indigenous peoples of the greater Caribbean area. So think Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica. Before Western civilization came, they were the originators. They were the indigenous peoples of this region, and this is the tree that they used to build their canoes. And how does that tie into the universe of Godforge? So basically, if we kind of come in here into the wiki, the Ceiba or the Yache, don't know the pronunciation to this one. I could not find a pronunciation guide on the Yache, so we're going to go with Yache. In the Mopon or Mayan language, symbolized to the Maya civilization as an axis mundi, which connects the planes of the underworld or Shabalba and the sky with that of the terrestrial realm. This concept of a central world tree is often depicted as a Ceiba trunk. So that is where the Ceiba kind of falls in line with Godforge. Think of, if you don't know, Mesoamerican cultures and stuff like that, think of in Greek mythology, the portions of the areas where, say, Hades would rise from the underworld and, you know, go out about town, so to speak, and hang out with the world of the living. So let's kind of get on into it. So here we have the Ceiba level. You can see definitely has that Central South American vibe to it with the high jagged peaks symbolizing possibly the Andes or like the Sierra Madres in Mexico. And then we have the stepped pyramids, which you see all over the world, in fact, but these ones are pretty indicative of that Mesoamerican culture where they're kind of reclaimed by the forest, if you will. We have snakes and lizard heads all over the place, big, huge faces all over the sides. We have pottery strewn about. And then right here, I'm guessing, but this is gonna be kind of the area where we face off. Maybe we have one team of heroes on the left, one team of heroes on the right. We fight in the middle, and whoever is losing is going to have their blood sacrificed to the gods. And yeah, and then hopefully we get a bountiful harvest after that. I really love this view. I think this if this is gonna be if this is gonna be the level that we're gonna actually be fighting in game, I am all for fighting in this level as often as possible. We have Mesoamerican building. You can kind of see stonework structure with the thatched roof. I'm not going to get into all of this detail because this is, the world, but you can kind of see the snakehead sculptures and stuff. We have the red paint. Is it red paint or is it blood? We can kind of speculate that. We have the graphisms, basically the tile work in the walls. You see it all over Central and South America. There's going to be patterns, the spirals and different geometric patterns all over the place. Thatch roof, huge all over the world, as we all know. We can see the extruded line snake, double-headed snake, basically. I don't know if that symbolizes anything specifically. I did not look that up, so don't quote me on anything. I imagine a double-headed snake has some significance, maybe life and death or immortality or something like that. But you can see the building here without a thatched roof. Basically, similar building, just instead of having a thatched roof, it's a little bit raised up, and we have stonework building with more detail that we're able to get all around it with more snakehead sculptures and stuff. We can kind of see our little buddy down here for scale. So as far as our human figure, we would come up to about right about here, about midway through that triangle doorway. So that's really cool. You can kind of see also the orange fungus, thick moss, and everything for texture. I really think that sets it off and lets it have that kind of lost to the ages vibe, and I really like that. See a little bit more detail on like what those snake heads are going to look like, whether they're embedded in the walls like that, or if they're going to be standalone, kind of like in the arena area that we saw a little bigger and stuff like that. You have the real life references. These are absolutely amazing in real life, and I wish I was alive back in the day to see these when they were in their pristine glory, because they are so detailed and have been weathered by time, and I think they are gonna be absolutely gorgeous in game with all the lighting and shading that we're gonna see on them. So I'm really excited to see these in game. We have the Mesoamerican pyramids. You know, just think you can kind of see the blood up here on this level, and you can see this is where your priests and everybody are going to be to practice sacrifices. Think of the movie Apocalypto, right? They march the slaves up there, they do their thing, and the blood and everything drips down, hoping for a bountiful harvest for the next season and everything. You're going to have the throngs of your devoted fans at the bottom, just praying to the gods that the sacrifice is going to work and you're going to be able to feed everybody for the next year. You have the scale here, so the normal building here with the thatched roof, the non-thatched roof are going to be about they're only gonna be coming up to about right here. So itty bitty little houses. And then we have a tall building, which we're gonna see here in a later slide, comes up to about just about here. And then we can see the scale of the actual pyramids are just massive. We have a we have a mechanical totem calendar. I don't know why that word was hard for me right now. You can kind of see right here, each cylinder can rotate independently. The totem is kind of moving calendar system. So think of, the top one could be rotating for the day, the middle for the month, the bottom for the year, or in any orientation of that. You're going to have ornate sculptures, whether they're the snake head sculptures as we have here. Uh, you can see the orange fungus was put on there. We have the graphisms, the geometric patterns as well, and you kind of see how it works. Which for the world building, you kind of have to know how it's going to work as far as that goes. So if it is going to be something that's in the background that's moving, maybe to signify the time in battle, uh, something like that. If it's gonna be moving, we have to show how it's gonna be moving in the actual background. So I think this is pretty cool. If this is something that actually does signify like our time in a battle, I really think this is going to be a cool little feature for it as well. We have the Paco relief sculptures, the big faces that you see all over Central and South American, civilizations. You have those big faces that are built into the walls. We have the different orange fungus, smooth stone, bricks, thick moss, slime, grass coming all over it. So it signifies that it's been there forever and it's just being beat up by time and still looking gorgeous as ever. I really dig this. I really dig this vibe. Next, we have just a simple wall. You can see by scale, about come up to about mid waist. Same kind of structures, using the bricks, the slime, the fungus to signify, that it's been there for a long time. We're also going to have some red paint, or is it blood? I don't know. You don't know, but hey, they're calling it paint here. But it looks like blood, right? Let's go. Let's be real. We had sacrifices in the Americas like crazy. It's kind of what we did around here. But you can kind of see we have that geometric pattern at the bottom. I really dig it. Mesoamerican cultures, Mesoamerican building and stonework is second to none in my personal opinion. Being native myself, you can kind of see the extruded geometric patterns. You have that spiral. We have the real life inspirations here, and we have the real life inspiration for that double headed line snake, as well as the ceramic painted patterns as well. These are going to be all over everything in this level. So definitely cool to see that they are taking real life inspirations to put into game for us. We have the Mesoamerican tall building. Remember, this one was the one that only comes up to about a quarter of the way up on the full pyramid. But you can kind of see for scale, we have a gentleman right here. We have a whole bunch of, obviously, this is blood coming down from a sacrifice. We have our Ceiba faction flag, which is also giving us that geometric spiralized square here as the sigil on our flag. We have those graphisms. We have some cobblestones that are going to be signifying, hey, this thing has taken some damage, whether it's lightning strikes, whether it's earthquakes. Some of the outward facade has broken off, and we have that, so it kind of signifies that it's been there for a long, long time. Really love this. You have the kind of the almost like a blueprint view, like a plot plan, if you will, showing the building in a 3D model as well. So I really kind of dig this vibe as well. We have thatched huts are going to be showing all over the place. You can put a thatched hut up against a wall, so you have like a little workbench area. These aren't necessarily probably going to be used for like lodging by people in real life, because you're probably going to want to put some walls around you, just if nothing else, to keep some of the animals at bay. So this is more going to be used like for just getting out of the rain, getting out of the sun, so you can work in some peace, like a little workshop, have a little workbench over here. So you can kind of see those. Those are going to be strewn about the world all over, I am sure, as well as our ceramic pottery. You can kind of see a bunch of different variations of actual ceramic potteries that exist in real life, and you can kind of see the differences. You have like something like a mixing bowl, or something like that. You have something where you're gonna maybe cook a stew. You have something maybe like a wine jug or a water jug, and then so we're gonna see a bunch of these all textured out and painted up pretty and nice like this on top. And then we're going to also have the broken ones that are in the grayscale, because I imagine we are going to get to break these. So when we're fighting in the world, we're going to be able to get to break the background. We've already seen it with some of the demo footage that we've seen already, where the background, the world environment around the fight is actually damageable. So I'm really excited to see kind of how this plays out in game. That is what I have for this one. If you have any suggestions or ideas of how this information is going to be used in game, I'm really curious to see what do you think is going to be coming from this, as well as any potential ideas that you think is something, if you can extrapolate this to say one of the other factions, right? So this, you can see everything that went into building this world for the Ceiba faction. What do you think is going to be part of, say, the Avalon faction or the Aru faction? Something like that. Let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video, guys. I'm JKG Brandon. Y'all been amazing. Peace.